Festus Osifo, the president of PENGASSAN, attributed persistent fuel queues in Nigeria to a weak and outdated distribution chain in the oil and gas sector. He called for urgent reforms to address the issue. In his words, there is no country in the world as big as Nigeria with our population that relies on a single point of product importation and uses trucks to distribute across the country. Now, Osifo also addressed other critical issues facing the oil and gas industry, where he noted that the high cost of production in Nigeria, which is 15 to 20% higher than in other parts of the world, is partly due to the burden of security on oil and gas companies. And he called on the government to take over security responsibilities from investors, which would significantly reduce production costs. Osifo further urged the government to strengthen laws and sanctions against those involved in oil theft, which he advocated for harsher penalties to deter bad behavior and encourage integrity within the industry. He said our distribution chain has challenges, that the distribution chain is weak in the downstream sector of the oil and gas industry. So that is why today we see queues in most of the stations. The problem may be solved today, but tomorrow it will surface, because there is no country in the world that is as big as Nigeria that has the same population as we have in Nigeria, that brings its product to a particular area and uses trucks that take it around. Distribution problem have been cited as the major cause of the fuel queues that we have currently in Nigeria. And that also links us to the topic that we were discussing before we moved to this one now.
Yeah, you see, some time ago, somebody asked me, must you hold government responsible for everything? My answer is yes, and the simple reason is this. You know, there is the theory of state, one of the theories of state, and the story of the Leviathan is this: we all surrendered our power to that giant that regulates society. That means that I don't take issues into my hand, because if left to me, how I handle a slap from A may be different from how I handle a slap from B, and will also be different from how C handles the same slap. A slap from A may mean my getting a cutlass to chop off his head. The same slap is given to C and he goes away with it. But if we hand our power over to this humongous entity, the Leviathan, this Leviathan decide collectively on our behalf to say, okay, for every slap you get so treatment. So nobody gets his head chopped up for a slap and the other person gets a warning. One wonders, security is a critical issue. Why do you leave security to the companies to provide? I mean, there's a level of security they take care of they themselves, but there is security for critical assets, which are national assets that shouldn't be handled by the government. This supply chain he's talking about, the government can put regulation, put infrastructures. The railways that we are coming on board, I don't know if they are still coming on board, if it has become like Nigerian democracy that has remained nascent over the years rather than growing. You know, the thing is this: government can improve on the supply chain system while not necessarily paying for it, but regulating it and giving control. So, like he said, distribution will become easier, because this is at times this is what you hear even the NNPC or by their new baptism name now saying, oh, that there is fuel supply in the country. The problem is the distribution problem. Oh, we have so trucks at sea, it's your flooding, which is part of the distribution problem. We can have an effective system that as soon as these things come, because it's not comforting to tell me that, oh, don't worry, you are hungry, not because there is no food, it's because the kitchen is locked. How long will the kitchen be locked and I'm hungry? So how long would you keep telling Nigerians this? Everything that ought to be done should be done to ensure things work the way they should work. People should not spend man hours at the fuel station to get fuel. You see, the Nigerian system has become such that it is not enough to have money to buy the fuel, as expensive as that is. After getting the money, you still need faith to buy.
All right, Doctor.
I mean,
looking at the fuel scarcity that we have currently in Nigeria and a lot of the states, and then this being mentioned as the major challenge.
To me, I think where I will look at it from is from the importation, because the shipment of this product takes a lot of time. By the time the quantity that is available is
Exhausted.
yes, and for the other one that will be coming, that lapse that is there will create scarcity. That's the first aspect I'm looking at. Then, just of recent, is it a few days ago, I was reading the NNPC, whatever, said that the products now have come. So Nigerians should wait, because that is the cause of the scarcity, the availability of the product. That's why I'm still frowning at the government for not allowing the refinery to work. Then secondly, we have depots in barely all the regions and in some states of this country. Now, the worry is that the pipelines have been vandalized. To me, I think we have some bodies that have been given the charge, yes, to put surveillance on these pipelines. What are they doing? The government who has contracted them should find out. Are they working? Are they doing what they are supposed to do? If not, there is no excuse for weak distribution. We have the depots. Or both private and NPC have their depots. So the products should be channeled, distributed to all these depots. And excluding that, there is also the failure in the aspect which he pointed on the rail transport system. Because I remember in the 80s that when these rail lines were working, most of these products were transported to different zones. So the rail line should be reactivated back, because the government, I don't know what they're doing. It's a system that will ease out a lot of things and reduce the number of trucks that have filled our roads, and that's why our roads are collapsing and everything happening.
Absolutely.
So the depot, the rail line, and the availability of the products are factors that we need to look at to avoid the weak distribution. So when the product is not there, what do you expect? There will be queues.